His Excellency Dr. Filip Ivanović. And now the two ministers will proceed with the press statements.
Good morning, Your Excellency Minister, dear Filip, ladies and gentlemen. I want to express my appreciation for the presence of my colleague from Muntenegru, Mr. Minister Filip Ivanović, in Bucharest. Today we had substantial talks oriented towards concrete results. Today's discussions are a normal continuation of the bilateral dialogue that is very dynamic at all levels. The visit I had in Podgorica on the 16th of November last year and the visit of the Montenegro president to Bucharest on the 12th of March 2024, as well as the meeting today, help us have progress milestones at bilateral level and also to set future goals. For example, as a clear deliverable, we mark today an important day for the cooperation of our foreign affairs ministries by signing a new action plan for cooperation between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from Romania and Montenegro for the period 2024-2025. The action plan establishes a more ambitious framework, a more applied framework for bilateral cooperation, and also opens perspective to additionally diversify our support for the European journey of Montenegro. Bilaterally, we reconfirmed the common will to contribute to boosting economic and sectoral cooperation that can better reflect the potential of our political relationship in a way that can be felt also by our society. So I encourage Romanian companies to invest in Montenegro, a market that has a lot of business opportunities. Defense, cybersecurity, internal affairs, including civil protection and managing emergency situations, as well as connectivity, are just a few examples that are the foundation of our consolidated cooperation. We are also happy that the Podgorica municipality will inaugurate this month the statue of Mihai Eminescu and the new street called Craiova. At European level, Romania is and will remain a firm support of Montenegro's accession to the EU. We commend the commitment of the Podgorica government to boost reforms, which is translated in decisions that have a positive impact on the European path. I encourage you to continue at the same pace, which for sure will enable you to advance in accession negotiation. The European way deserves all efforts, and Romania is ready to share its experience in the field of European integration with our friends from Montenegro, which will also contribute naturally to the strengthening of our bilateral relations. All our actions come from our experience and from the conviction that aligning with the EU standards and policies, as well as committing to the European values, are guarantees for a sustainable and irreversible European way. We also tackled the negative and deep consequences of the war of aggression of Russia against Ukraine in the region and also in the Western Balkans. We reminded the efforts of Romania in supporting Ukraine, and we welcome the courageous, clear and solidary approach of the Montenegrin authorities with that of the entire international democratic community. We reiterated the firm decision of Romania to continue to offer consistent and multidimensional support for Ukraine. We will continue to support Ukraine's fight for independence, territorial integrity and sovereignty as long as it is necessary. Also, we conveyed our full support to consolidate the resilience of the Republic of Moldova in the context of the multiplication of the hybrid actions of the Russian Federation. European integration remains fundamental, and our partners in the neighborhood deserve all our support. Of course, we exchange opinions about topics that are priorities on the North Atlantic Alliance agenda, including from the perspective of the NATO summit that will take place in Washington in July. I reiterated the concern for the continuous deterioration of the security and stability climate in the area, following an assertive and provocative posture of Moscow when it comes to the NATO allies and partners in the region. I talked to my colleague also about the regional situation in the Western Balkans. It is a region of strategic importance where the political and security developments have direct implications for the security and prosperity of the entire Europe. Romania wants to promote security in the region as a priority and also to have economic growth and integration, including by using the opportunities provided by the regional cooperation platforms. We will thus we continue to assess the ways to boost the structure for regional cooperation with the Euro-Atlantic and European agenda, where our countries work closely. Minister, I would like to thank you once again for your visit in Bucharest and for the substantial talks we've had. I'm confident that today we managed to open new lines of actions in order to strengthen our relations. Thank you once again. You have the floor.
Dear Minister Odobescu, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to be in an official visit to Romania today. At the beginning, allow me to use this opportunity to emphasize that the visit of my dear colleague Luminița to Muntenegru in November 2023 was the first visit of a head of diplomacy to our country since the constitution of the 44th government, which we greatly appreciate and consider as an expression of commitment to deepening cooperation between our two countries. I am glad that we were able to confirm then, as well as today, that Montenegro and Romania have traditionally friendly relations and that we are committed to their further development, affirmation and continuous improvement. That commitment has been set also into the action plan for cooperation between our two ministries of Foreign Affairs for the period 2024-2025, which we were glad to sign today here in Bucharest. Bearing in mind that our key foreign policy goal is membership to the European Union, the focus of our talks was the current momentum in negotiations with Montenegro, as well as the support of Romania on our EU path. I express gratitude for friendship and partnership reflected continuously through our contacts, both on the official and the working level. Additionally, our excellent bilateral relations are furthermore strengthened by the alliance within NATO. Allow me to also point out that Montenegro greatly appreciates Romania's active role in advocating for the European perspective of the Western Balkans, as well as strong support to the principles of progress based on individual merits. As a country that has advanced the farthest in the process of EU negotiations, with significant progress made in the last few months, we found particularly important the recognition of our achievements coming from our European partners. So far, it is loud and clear, and we believe will be reflected through the positive interim benchmark assessment report later this month. Although the focus of our talks was on European topics, we also discussed in detail the further improvement of bilateral cooperation following our talks in Podgorica a few months ago. We recognized that the fields of economy, tourism, health, education, research, and so on are of mutual interest, and I am glad that today we could agree on having more dynamic interstate contacts in this field. Dear Luminița, dear friend, thank you once again for the warm welcome and fruitful exchange we had. I am convinced that your visit to Muntenegru in November and my visit to Romania today gave an additional impetus to the strengthening of our overall interstate ties and friendship. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for attending. The press statements are now over.